Hello everyone, it is Pasha's Cooking, Anita and Chef Dario Tomaselli, and today we're making Mexicana Salsa Verde.
Cozida.
So I'm really excited about making this today. I know we did Italy already,
Yes.
which is already in our recipes, but now we're going to be doing the Mexican style, so I'm really excited.
Salsa Verde. It's a very simple sauce. Another great thing about this one, cozida, because you're going to cook it. Okay? But this one is a perfect dish that you can have with your taco for taco night. You can serve it with chilies. You can enchilada. You know, if you guys follow Passion is Cooking, we have a recipe for the enchilada. You can take away the salsa roja and you can put the salsa verde.
There's so many flavors in Mexican cuisine I'm finding, and this month we're doing Mexico with our International Dinner Club.
Yes.
And it's been so much fun.
It is fun. It's the greatest.
And tasty, of course.
The greatest thing about Passion is Cooking and the International Dinner Club is basically take you a journey on a plate of different culture, different country, different spice, and different way of doing it. But the best thing about it is always remember, cook together, eat together. And for now, we travel virtually together.
To stay together.
To stay together. So the reason why, obviously, as you guys know, we've been doing a lot of preserving and jarring and condiments for the fall, for the winter, for whatever has to come with, because we had a garden this year and we grow a lot of our vegetable. And one of the vegetables we really attempt to do, and we were a bit concerned, were tomatillo. And you know, this lovely lady, she's a magician.
You're supposed to actually have two of them.
Two plants.
So they can pollinate with each other. And so I worked my magic and was able to do it without. But it's such an interesting thing. It's like a tomato. It's a version of the tomato.
Green tomato, yeah.
And you can see it comes out of the husk. Yeah. And the flavors to it are unbelievable. It's very sticky.
It's very sticky. So there is almost this film around the husk, because you can see the husk is it's a protector. But look how beautiful it is. Yeah.
And so this is what it ends up looking like at the end. And of course we've cut it up into slices to make.
But this is beautiful. Look how gorgeous it is. Huh? So, you know, I just picked this one literally 30 seconds ago from my garden. And that's what it is. And we didn't expect to get absolutely anything, and we were fortunate enough to have all this beautiful. So very simple recipe. Nothing really is complicated about this one. So the components are cooking onions, then they're diced. The tomatillo, they're being washed, rinsed, and cut in fourth. Some garlic cloves, germ remove.
Always germ remove.
And of course, jalapeno. So we got some jalapeno. We removed the seeds of the jalapeno because it's just a little. And of course, something that Anita absolutely hates.
Favorite.
Yes. Oh. So anyway, simple. Nothing too complicated. Back to our beautiful Vitamix. And what we're gonna do, we basically put all these ingredients gently.
Now, if you don't have tomatillo, could you do this with regular tomatoes?
You could do it with green tomato, okay?
So you want to have a green tomato?
You want to have salsa verde because it's green. Green verde means green, so it needs to have it needs to have something that is green.
So this is perfect for this time of year for those tomatoes that are not finishing up.
Yeah, you could do that with green tomato. That's actually a very good idea. I never thought about it.
Because everyone's talking about it, how they're doing these gardens this year.
Yeah, I never thought.
And they have all these green tomatoes and not knowing what to do with it. So this is perfect.
Who's the chef now?
If you don't have tomatillo.
Who's the chef now? Anyway, so here we go. So we have, and what we're gonna do with this? So we're gonna blitz absolutely everything with a little bit of our olive oil here. You can use vegetable oil, you can use grapeseed oil. I personally tend to like to have a little bit of oil there. And
extra virgin olive
oil. We're gonna add the cilantro. This is my personal preference, guys. I use everything of the cilantro. I use seeds, stems, and of course the leaf. I'm gonna put it right.
We always say there's more flavor into the stem, right? And more nutrients, right?
There is. And I think it's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do, I haven't put any salt yet, because we're gonna cook this thing for probably 4 to 5 minutes on a pot right behind that, then it's standing by. Then I just want to kind of cook everything together, stop it, and then put them in a jar and leave it there until I need it. Okay, so here we go.
Jars.
So I'm gonna add some of the olive oil over here, and the rest I'm gonna put it on the back here.
So this is great for the tomatoes that you have in your garden that are green. This is great for the cilantro that probably needs to be harvested by now. Using up that and having that extra condiment that you can add to things. So.
Correct. Okay, so.
And all the recipes are at Pasha's Cooking, so go on over and take a look.
So here we go. Magic. Look how beautiful it is. There is no salt here, okay?
Yeah, I was wondering, there's no...
There's no salt.
Also, I want to mention something about our recipes, because this is something we did this year. Oh, yeah.
This is Mexican on a cup.
Oh, my goodness.
So, yeah. Sorry, sweetheart.
No, I just wanted to mention, because it's something we did this year, and I'm not sure if everybody knows, but for our International Dinner Club and all of our recipes, we have changed the serving sizes so that it's an option for you to be able to change your serving sizes. So we put in, let's say, a recipe for 4, but let's say you're on your own and you want to make a meal for yourself, you can toggle that recipe to 1 serving. Vice versa, if you have 20 people, which unfortunately now COVID style, unless you're doing a Zoom dinner or something, you can toggle that to 20 people. And that's a great added benefit for our International Dinner Club, which people get together with all our recipes, our special recipes, because that's a different area and there's special recipes. But it's nice to be able to change the serving sizes. So I don't know if everybody knows about that.
And I think what we do also, it's giving an opportunity to people to really explore. And really explore. Don't be afraid if you want to. If you found there is an ingredient that you're not comfortable with and you would like to, just send us a message. And let us know what you want to see. What would you like to work with? So we can help you with. So what I've done here. So this is done. Okay. So like I said, I have not seasoned it. I'm gonna remove quickly the Vitamix. Okay, and look at that. So on the pot, I'm gonna basically pour all the ingredients right in it.
So cooking it for 5 minutes, what does that do, Chef?
Exactly. Oh my God, she called me chef now. It's scary. No.
But it's true. Everyone calls you chef. So I just want to be like everybody else.
You're better. So what it does, well, that's a really good question actually. So what happened, we want to cook the liquids out. So as you can see, there is still a bit of liquids there. So what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to season it, okay?
Yeah. See that yeah, just to thicken it up a little bit.
Okay, so just a little bit. It's going to take 5. So what I'm going to do, I want to quickly drizzle some oil.
There's never quickly with olive oil with you.
Just quickly.
You gotta watch your words. You gotta
stove.
watch your words. You're forgetting. I'm trained in NLP. I know this stuff. There's no quickly. There's no quickly.
There's not quickly. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna leave it here and just spend 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. And again, we want to just thick.
Does it have to come to a boil?
That's what it's better not to.
Okay.
Okay, and we know why. Okay, because tomato is a fruit.
Oh, yes.
We want to be very careful with stuff like that. So it's important, and I got it done on simmer, but I want to make sure that I cooks all the water. You know, the tomato is probably 50% water. There is a lot of water into tomato, and if you don't remove that water, especially in the salsa verde, in which we're going to pack it, what's going to happen? It's going to become very, very acid, and it is actually going to spoil very quickly. Okay, because that water is going to spoil.
Brings me back to my spaghetti sauce, as I call it, my tomato sauce. I'm not allowed to call it spaghetti sauce. I used to steam it, simmer it all day long.
Yes.
And think that was the way to do it. But what happens is, and I've learned now, Dario being an Italian chef and professor and doing this for years and years, you can overcook it, and when you do, it becomes very acidic. So I was adding things to it. So there's a time period I was adding sugar.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of people do.
There was a time period I was adding cinnamon. And now, being with Dario, I understand the difference, and the taste is humongous.
But what is important about this? This is something we got. So you
So
see.
this is the same thing with this. It's a tomato.
But it's important that people express their own palate. At that time, for you, was the right thing to do. It's the only way. The only way you actually understand it is by practicing, by making mistakes, by tasting different things, and really figure out.
I think it's exploring and trying different recipes
that's
and
for
different flavors. So I always knew that I'd go to an Italian restaurant or I'd go somewhere special, and I used to have neighbors, they were phenomenal cooks, and I could smell the cooking, and it was just something a little bit different. And it's really the simplicity. And this adds with, I mean, with Mexican cuisine. I mean, you ran the Melia Hotel in Cancun for 3 years, so you know your Mexican food too. But it's just overcooking tomatoes makes it acidic. So
and I mean, and this one, we are dealing with a different species. We're basically dealing with an underripe tomato.
Yeah.
It is very different than the normal tomato you would see here. It's got a lot of acidity. You tried it. You ate it a little bit raw like that. Did you like it?
Oh, I liked it actually.
It's got a bit of acidity.
But I like raw vegetables. Like I'm a huge vegetable.
So, and this one would be great fried. This was
fried green tomatoes.
Fried green tomato, yeah. Tomatillo you can use a little bit in moles. Moles is a classical sauce from Mexico. Okay, they have the mole verde.
Did we make that in one of our?
Well, we made it probably in one of our Mexico probably.
I think we did. Yeah.
So anyway, so there is so much way to use this thing. But the best one, my favorite one with tomatillo, is actually using it in a barbecue. So you can actually cut them in half, roast them in a barbecue, and making almost like a chili, tomato, a little bit of feta or queso fresco, and some pulled salmon. Like salmon that is being baked on a plank and pulled in a little salad.
This sounds so good.
Yes.
On the weekend we had a wonderful dinner, and I learned how to smoke cheese on the barbecue, which was really interesting. And I didn't realize that you had to put it in a bowl with ice and so that it doesn't melt, and how you can actually get that smoky flavor. So that was really interesting as well. Maybe we'll do a recipe on that too.
Yeah, and I mean, and this is things that you kind of experiments, and we always say to all our audience here is it's not complicated. We want to make sure that it's as simple as possible. And not complicated, and it's gonna take all the flavor away. So this one is done. Okay, we're almost there. I'm gonna grab this beautiful thing right here.
Oh, it's hiding over there.
It's hiding, yes. Voila. And here we go. So you can see it's getting a little thicker here. Okay?
And the heat's gonna help it seal as well, right?
Correct, yeah.
I can smell it from here. I don't even have to go down there. It's unbelievable.
Now,
we have to come up with smell-o-vision. Do you think they're going to have that one day?
So there is no salt whatsoever. Okay? So just very little, because it might be a little heat. Oh. It says nothing right now.
Does it need salt?
It does need salt. But what are you tasting right now? Because that's important, and our audience understand that. There is a bit of heat.
Oh, yeah.
There is a ton of acidity.
Yeah.
And everything kind of comes together.
Yeah.
Okay? So right now here, salt is needed here because we haven't put any. But the reason
Very tiny bit though.
Yeah, but the reason why I did not put salt here is because as soon as I was going to cook it on the heat, it was going to oxidize all the green.
Ah.
Okay? So I want to add the salt after. Okay, then it's away from the stove, then it's got nothing else. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to obviously season. I'm going to put just a little bit of pepper. Don't need it, but like that.
Because we like pepper, right? So
yeah, so we just hide it like that. Voila, look at that.
So you could put this on everything, really.
This one is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Not just Mexican.
On anything.
Yeah.
Salmon, fish, meat, if you
Oh,
want.
I'm just thinking of a smoked salmon with that on
Yeah,
top.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So let's try it again. Oh, I think it's it. Wow.
That's perfect.
This is really good. And we put quite a bit of chilies here, okay? But because the seeds are out, and we really balance well with all the remaining ingredients, and the tomatillo, what it does, absorbs a lot of the spiciness of the chili. Acidity helps balance spiciness, okay, and also bitterness. So you always have to be careful. It's the yin and the yang.
It's kind of like you and me. We're a yin and a yang.
We are the yin and the yang.
And you know what? Another benefit is there's going to be no vampires here today.
There's not going to be vampire here today.
With this amount of garlic, there's no vampires.
But do you taste the garlic?
No, but it's unbelievable. But
it's the most incredible thing. So that's what we want to do. We want to make sure. So you let it cool down now. We're going to let it cool down. Once it's cooled down, we put them on a jar. Remember, we want to have it just to the rim. Seal it and put them in the fridge. And that's it.
We can't put it in hot?
I wouldn't want to do it right now. I want to let it sit for a little bit, okay? And because I want to make sure that all the flavor develop. You could. There is no, but I'm much rather I would just wait a little bit. Put them into the jar, seal it, and you're done.
Do you want to put olive oil on this one too?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Not
Because the
necessarily.
Salsa Verde Italy, we put olive oil on the top, and you'll be able to see what we did with the actual recipe.
The reason why we put because this one is more tomato than the other one was more herbs.
Okay.
So you remember we always talking about chlorophyll. So chlorophyll needs to be protected. It's like we have this gentle, beautiful skin like that. you need to protect it.
You're making me blush.
So the same thing is with greens like parsley, like basil. You need to protect it. This one is the tomatillo is the main components here, and the chili. There is a little bit of the cilantro, but the cilantro really is not getting affected as much as the other one. Okay.
So much to learn.
So this is great.
And it's very simple to make. It's just knowing the extra little tips and tricks and.
It's super easy to make. It's not a complicated at all. I highly recommend you guys to do it. If you want to make taco night, if you want to make enchiladas, if you want to make fish on a barbecue, anything you want to do it. Some pulled pork with coconut. Braised coconut.
That sounds so good.
Braised coconut and pineapple pulled pork with salsa verde.
We have so many more videos to make. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Recipe is going to be down below. It's at Passionless Cooking in the recipe section. You come on over and subscribe, like, comment. We love hearing what you have to say. And the best way to get everything that we do is go over to our newsletter. And you'll be able to subscribe for that at What's Stirring on our website, and you'll see the link below as well. Because we talk about our International Dinner Club, and there's a lot of benefits to the International Dinner Club and the food community. You get a lot of extras that you normally don't get being part of our team and our membership. And
Right.
and kind of like the real, I don't want to say it's the high-end foodies, but the ones that really
Passionate.
passionate about food and about travel. And we have our culinary trip. So our culinary trip we're hoping to have in 2021. We're working towards it.
Yes.
And actually it's almost full already.
Yeah.
So come on over to What's Stirring and you'll find out more details about our culinary trip, or email us. Email us at info@passionscooking.com as well if there's anything you're needing to know.
And also, really, honestly, if it's anything that it really triggers you, then some item on a vegetable or product, and you really are not quite sure how to handle, just send us a message, and we will try to create a recipe just custom made for you.
So ciao now for now, everyone. Thank you for stirring into our journey.
Come and join us. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, everyone.